All right, you guys, Jufro Fragrance is back again today. So, today's video are going to be 5 designer fragrances that thankfully and luckily I was gifted to by the brands. So I want to rate them for you. Now, they've all been, no, except for one I think was released last year. The rest of them were released this year. But I wanted to give you guys my honest thoughts on this. You know, just because they were gifted to me doesn't mean I'm going to say that these were all spectacular. So I'll give you guys my honest review, and we'll go from 5, which is like my least favorite, to 1, which is my favorite. All right, so let's get into it. Number 5 I was actually looking forward to this, but of the 5, this is my least favorite. So this one is Azzaro's Wanted Eau de Parfum. Now, I love the EDT. I had it a few years ago. When I was selling cars, I used it a lot, especially, in the summer, which I think it was perfect for summer and springtime. And I was complimented on it many times, and it got me performance-wise, especially for EDT, 8 hours on my skin. So I was like, man, they're making EDP version of this. I'm excited. Well, let me tell you, didn't live up to my expectations. So it's not that this is a bad fragrance. It's just meh. Just save your money. Honestly, when I'm going to tell you this, like I said, thank you, Azzaro, for gifting this to me. I really appreciate it. It has some spice to it. Now, the positive notes I will say is that it's an easy fragrance to wear. I think it's mass appealing. You can use it all year round, day or nighttime. The thing is, it's also very weak performance-wise, at least on my skin. So, I think you could probably use it for date night, or evening wear, but I would just say it's probably better for like the office and stuff like that. Now, that's the thing. You could just use it anywhere, but it's just very lackluster. So what do you get in there? It has some sweetness in there, has some spiciness to it, and then there's vetiver in the dry down. Now, again, is there a little bit of resemblance of the EDT? Sure, but very light. I really thought that they were going to enhance the EDT. I get it. They went in a different direction with it, but I think this was a flop. And I'm for most of the Wanted line, I've been a fan of, and there might be another one I might talk about soon. So just this, it's to me, just save your money, guys. Again, the bottle's cool. That's the one plus. It has a typical Wanted, but I like how it's all chromed out. But again, like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad fragrance. It's not. It doesn't smell bad at all. It's just meh. It just doesn't flow. It doesn't work with my skin that well. And there's nothing interesting about it. So, and the performance, like I said, I got between 6 to 7 hours, and I wore this multiple times. So that was another thing, especially with being Eau de Parfum. I'm not saying I thought it was going to project a lot longer, but I thought it would last longer than the Eau de Toilette and project more, and it didn't either. So, yeah. All right, you guys. So number 4 on this list is it was gifted to me from Ralph Lauren. It is Polo Red Parfum. Now, I have Polo Red Extreme. I have Polo Red Intense. I've tried, the other Polo Reds. They're just okay to me. And same thing here, just okay to me. Again, like I said, it's not bad and it is not great. It's just okay. Now, you do get the sweetness that's in here. I feel like that's just kind of, well, except for Extreme, because there is a citrus note in there, but I don't really think that's sweet. So that's a kind of a different take. But with the other Polo Reds, this sweet has a little bit of sweetness, citrusy, has some lavender, has some woody notes. Now, again, the good thing with this one is, like I said, the plus side I look to it is that you can use it all year round. You can use it, I think, in any setting. I don't think it's overbearingly sweet where it would be too much for work. And also the other thing is the performance. Again, performance kind of lackluster, kind of like Azzaro Wanted EDP, between 6 to 7 hours. Thought it would last longer, especially being a Parfum. I thought it would be a lot longer lasting, and it's not. So that was kind of a disappointment there. And then at the price point too, I really feel like this is overpriced. So that's the other reason why I think, to me, this is just not worth it. Kind of save your money. As you can see, I did wear it a few times, because like I said, I wanted to give it a chance, and it just kind of missed the mark to me. So now I don't know if I said with the Azzaro one that was a 3 for 0 rating. This is also a 3 for 0 rating. Again, just to me, it's just average, basic, nothing spectacular. Save your money. That's honestly what I could tell you for with this is just save your money, because there's nothing interesting about it. And I feel like if you've had Polo Red EDP or even the Intense, I think those are probably better and cheaper. Well, I don't know. I think Intense is discontinued now, but if it's a cheaper buy, I'd rather get the Intense. Anyways, to me, Extreme anyways is the best one from the whole Polo Red line. So, yep, that is the Parfum. Thank you again, Polo, Ralph Lauren. Appreciate it. All right. Now, number 3 on this list was also gifted to me by Ralph Lauren. So thank you. But I will say this is actually a pretty cool box. It's like it opens up like that. Yeah. And then the bottle, kind of similar to the other two. You know, you got that little flip top there. So this is Ralph's Club Elixir. Now, if you followed my channel, you've known my thoughts on Ralph's Club, the EDP, and the Parfum. And if you don't know, I'll tell you anyways, I was not impressed with either of them. Again, I gave them 3 for 0 ratings. Nothing spectacular to me. They were just okay. I know a lot of people loved them. A lot of people were giving me a hard time. Like, oh man, I can't believe you didn't like Ralph's Club, blah, 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 blah. Well, it is what it is. But I feel like they finally got it right. So this one, guys, you know what, let me tell you. Like I said, especially for being critical, I did not have high expectations for this, and I was blown away. So, what do I get when I smell this? Well, pick up the iris in there now. I think that's also what kind of won me over, because I love iris. So if you know my channel, you know I always talk about iris fragrances, and I love it. But there's some patchouli in here. There's some woody notes. This is a very classy fragrance. Very masculine, classy fragrance. I feel like after the failures with the EDP and the Parfum, they finally got it right. To me, now, I wouldn't recommend it in summer. Now, I did wear it in the heat, and it wasn't overbearing. So I think maybe you could, as long as it's not too hot of a day. But ideally, I think this is better for cooler weather. I think you can wear it day or nighttime. That's the good thing about this fragrance as well. As like I said, it is a very manly, classy fragrance. And performance-wise, got over 8 hours. So every time I wore this, got at least 8. A couple times it was like 9, going towards the 9, 10 hour mark, but 8 hours, which what was there. And honestly, I give it a 4.5, guys. Couldn't give it, there was just something missing to give it a 5, but it's that damn good though. So I will say though, I think this is worth picking up. Again, especially if a lot of you love the lineup, to me, this is better. And if you were like me, where you felt like the other two were kind of just lackluster, they got it right with this. So very impressed by this. Ralph Lauren, appreciate this. And yeah, this is Ralph's Club Elixir. All right, guys. Number 2. Now, this was a hard choice between number 2 and number 1. But so I got this one recently from Victor and Rolf. So thank you for that. And if you, like I said, if you know, I'm talking about outside of the Night Vision line, I didn't like EDT or EDP. I thought those were very lackluster, very boring. No, a lot of people like the Night Vision. I personally despise them. So to me, I love the rest of the lineup. The Eau Fraiche, which was discontinued, the regular Spice Bomb, Infrared EDT, Extreme, absolutely love it. So this one was the Infrared EDP. Now, again, I love the EDT. So I was like, you know what, I had high hopes for it. I did, because like I said, I was like, man, the EDT was great. And I loved it because it was something better than the Night Vision line. So I was like, I'm curious what they'll do here. And they did not disappoint, guys. And again, I'm not saying this because these were gifted to me. Again, you saw I was honest with the other ones. And I was very critical of like Ralph's Club with the other ones. Just Elixir got it right. But here, like I said, my expectations were high and they nailed it. Now, what I like they did different here is they took away the tobacco element. In my opinion, I don't pick up any at all. So you still get the cinnamon, you still get the pepper, but I like that they added a leather tone to this, background to this. So that's what, and I love leather. And, you know, like I said, I just did a video not too long ago about leather, my top leather fragrances. So, I was just like, you know what? This has got to be good when I read the note breakdown. And you know what? it didn't disappoint. Performance, great as well, over 8 hours. Projection, decent. Again, not a big, heavy projecting fragrance, but it is decent. Yeah, I think, honestly, if you love the EDT, just like I said, just expect a little bit of a twist. And I think you'll love this, honestly. So, great fragrance. Guys, this gets a 5 rating. I mean, I gave a 5 to the infrared EDT. I've given a 5 to the Extreme. And so I would honestly, so where my ranking would go with this is Extreme is still number 1, but this tops the infrared EDT. It's close, but because they're both great. But like I said, I do like this one more. Again, Victor and Rolf, great. Just throw away the night vision line and we're good. But to me, this is just fantastic. And also the other thing I like about this one, which was different, was the fruity notes that were in the EDT. It was tempered down with the EDP. So great job, Victor and Rolf. Yeah, and that's number 2. And the last one. So, okay, it was gifted to me last year. So yeah, I know this is more of a 2023 video, but I don't think I talked about it too much, and I should have. I haven't talked it on the YouTube. I've talked about it on my TikTok and Instagram. So number 1 to me is just a great date night fragrance. I just think it's a phenomenal date night fragrance. And it's also from Azzaro. This is Azzaro, the Most Wanted Parfum. Now again, so you see, I didn't really like the EDP, as you could see earlier in the video. This, I mean, you know, unfortunately, that was a more recent release. This one, to me, man, they should have just left this and just went to a whole, created something completely different. Guys, this is a phenomenal date night fragrance. Also, of all the 5 fragrances, this is the longest lasting on my skin. Every time I've worn this, I've got over 10 hours on my skin. So it's phenomenal. Now, like I said, to me, this is for cooler weather. Like I said, date night especially. I don't think this is something you want to wear during the day. It might be heavy. If you're at school, whatever, who cares? You know, you can't get in trouble for wearing fragrances. At least I never did when I was in school. So maybe if that's how it applies to you, then fine. But honestly, date night is better. So what do you pick up in here? Definitely get the ginger. Definitely get vanilla, some woody notes. Very simple. It's kind of like a simple note breakdown, but I think just the way it's blended and the way it works on my skin, absolutely phenomenal. This is definitely a 5 rating. You actually even see, if you go on my website, you've seen this. This is on one of my, I think on my top date night picks. There's a reason for it. I absolutely love this. This is the best of the line. Like I said, I love the Wanted EDT. The EDP Most Wanted was great too. But this, guys, to me, just reigns over all of them, reigns supreme over all of them. So Azzaro, thank you. See, I'm just honest. I try to keep it real with you guys. Like I said, just because something is gifted to me does not mean I will praise it. You know, it's just for some reason the last 3 really worked on my skin, but Ralph's the Polo Red Parfum and the Wanted EDP were just So guys, I'm curious what you think. Do you guys agree with the ranking of these? I know a lot of people love Polo Red, so I'd be curious what you guys thought about that. And then, like I said, do you think, I've talked to quite a few people though, and I feel like they really do like the Wanted Parfum the most. So at least I'm happy about that people actually agree with me on that. So we'll see, guys. I'm really curious what you think. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell. It lets you notifications when the next Jufro video is dropping. All right, y'all. Thank you. Jufro!